Speaking of Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles once again, Carson Wentz is the Philadelphia Eagles' biggest problem as I speak today, not Doug Pederson. Eagles fans, do me a favor. Please stop saying Doug Pederson is your biggest problem. Now again, let me be very clear. I'm not trying to absolve Doug Pederson from any blame because he deserves some blame for this Eagles team underperforming this year in 2020. At times his play calling has not been the best. At times he's been way too aggressive. The Eagles offense does lack some creativity. Sometimes I think that he should run the football more effectively. With Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, he should call more running plays. And for what it's worth, the Eagles are 3-7-1. And a lot of people thought they could win about 10 games this year. That's underperforming. The coaching staff deserves some of that blame. No doubt about it, 100%. But the idea that Doug Pederson is ruining Carson Wentz and the fact that Eagles fans have the audacity to say that Doug Pederson is the biggest problem for this team and not Carson Wentz is laughable to me. It really is. First of all, were Eagles fans making that argument that Doug Pederson was the problem when Doug Pederson had to make adjustments as a head coach when Carson Wentz went down due to injury in 2017 and Doug Pederson and Nick Foles led this team to a Super Bowl? Doug Pederson outcoached Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. He outcoached Bill Belichick. Point blank period. That's not arguable. In 2018, when Carson Wentz was 5-6 as a starter and went down due to injury, were Eagles fans blaming Doug Pederson then? I hope not, because if they were, that was wrong. The Eagles won 3 straight games with Nick Foles and got to the playoffs. In fact, they won a playoff game at Chicago, and they were an Alshon Jeffrey completed pass away from going to the NFC Championship game potentially. If Alshon Jeffrey catches that pass with about a minute left to go in the game versus New Orleans, Philadelphia very well could have knocked off New Orleans, and they would have been facing the LA Rams in the NFC Championship game more than likely. Guys, there's no other way to slice it. Carson Wentz has been one of, if not the worst, starting quarterback in 2020. Over 13 of his turnovers have been in Eagles territory this year. If a player is not executing the plays you are running as a head coach, you're just not going to win. Bill Belichick, for his entire coaching career, without Tom Brady, he's got a below 500 record. Was Bill Belichick lighting the world on fire back when he was in Cleveland, when he did not consistently have good quarterback play? No, he wasn't. That's the greatest head coach of all time. You want to know why he was failing? Oh, because he didn't have a quarterback to execute the plays that he was running. Quarterback play matters. Let me list you off the teams that finished last in their division last season. The Dolphins, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Jaguars, Washington, Arizona, Detroit, and Carolina all finished last in their division in 2019. Do you know what all those teams have in common outside of Jacksonville and Arizona? All those teams had awful quarterback play in 2019. Kyler Murray was pretty good last year on a bad team, and Gardner Minshew last year was pretty good on a bad team. That's why I singled out Jacksonville and Arizona. But for the most part, if you have a quarterback that stinks, you're not going to win games. So people, stop saying Doug Pederson is the problem. We've seen Doug Pederson coach his way to winning a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz has yet to have back-to-back winning seasons. Has not won a playoff game. Has consistently at times been injured. Now, last year Carson Wentz stayed healthy, and this year Carson Wentz has been healthy, but for the most part throughout his career, he's been banged up a lot. He's missed some games. And Nick Foles has won games with Doug Pederson. So Doug Pederson has shown he can win games with multiple quarterbacks. He doesn't need Carson Wentz to win a Super Bowl. He's already proven that. Carson Wentz has proven nothing. Carson Wentz right now is not a top 10 quarterback. Doug Pederson, as of right now, despite his struggles, he is still a top 10 head coach. I'm willing to battle with people in the comment section. I'm willing to see who wants to name 10 head coaches right now that are better than Doug Pederson. Just because Doug Pederson is having a bad coaching season, that does not make him a bad head coach. And by the way, you can make the same argument for Carson Wentz. Maybe this is a year where Carson Wentz is just not performing at a high level. Maybe next year he'll light the world on fire. But the idea that Doug Pederson is the biggest problem for the Philadelphia Eagles and not Carson Wentz, it is laughable and it is wrong. Carson Wentz deserves the most blame for the Philadelphia Eagles' struggles, not Doug Pederson. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.